So I've just got back home after doing a little bit of a Sports Hop series episode on Friday, and thankfully, unlike on Wednesday when I got back from a game, tonight I was actually able to get back home a little bit earlier than I did on Wednesday, which gives me a time to do the review of the only game that happened today and the game that kicked off match week number 25, which is Inter Miami and the New York Red Bulls. And in the end, wow, I definitely did not see this one coming, with the way that not only the fact that the Red Bulls absolutely destroyed Inter Miami in this game, but this downright has to be one, if not the most dominant performance I've seen a road team has all season long. And keep in mind, this is a New York Red Bulls team that coming into this game have only won one game out of their last 11 games. They were struggling and they were desperate to try to get a win to keep their faint playoff hope in the Eastern Conference alive, whereas they're playing against an Inter Miami team that has just been red hot in these last couple of games, winning 5 out of 6 games, and are part of the conversation of all these teams around the playoff line in the East that are just red hot right now. But the performance that they put in this game pretty much rivals the problem that they had in the beginning of the season. Now, in the first half, 3 minutes into this game, Fabio hits the side netting after kind of a mix-up at the back from Miami, which, that is actually a foreshadow of the fact that this Inter Miami backline, yeah, I think they decided to take a day off in this, because I just don't know what was going on with this back line, with the way that they was just allowing the Red Bulls have tons of opportunity to shoot in front of goal. And that, I also wrote that the Red Bulls started out well, as I thought Miami just could not get out of the Red Bulls press early. But little did I know, it was mainly because Inter Miami not only cannot get out of the Red Bulls press, but also their back line making some bad passes, and also their midfield just decide not to work also, just like the back line of this team. Now, in the 5th minute, there was a shout for a handball in the box for Miami, but it wasn't given, before Makun cleared Carmona's shots off the line, as the Red Bulls almost took the opening or almost got the opening goal in the 8th minute, before there was another shout for a handball, this time for the Red Bulls, after Fernandez fought that. Or actually, no, not for Fernandez, but there was a shout for a handball. But right as there was a shout for a handball there from the Red Bulls, Omar Fernandez skies it over the bar before Robinson puts it wide in the near post in the 17th minute. And little do we know, that was only one of 2 shots that Inter Miami has got the entire game in this one against the Red Bulls. But 1 minute after that chance that Miami has, the Red Bulls were able to get the opening goal, as Kimala would score from Carmona and Davis to give the Red Bulls a 1-0 lead. And there was no doubt that kind of frustrated Inter Miami, because there was definitely some pushing and shoving that happened in both team in just 2 minutes after the opening goal was scored. And I don't think it's going to be a big surprise when I tell you that the player that started that pushing and shoving was Leandro Gonzalez Perez. I mean, you knew that LGP is trying to maybe instigate some, and in some way this is just kind of what he does. He likes to play the victim role, and he likes to kind of instigate situation, and in this case, he decided to do that, and maybe that was a way to try to fire up his team that were basically not at it up to that point of this game. Now, in the 24th minute, Carmona hits a shot that goes straight to Marsman, and I even wrote what I basically said earlier. This Miami backline was just an absolute mess. Like, it was so disorganized. I think Stu Holden mentioned it multiple times that was the case. In fact, I think there was even, I think on Reddit, someone said take a shot every time that Stu Holden mentioned the Miami backline was a mess. And I'm glad that no one actually try that challenge, because if you decide to try that challenge, yeah, you probably would pass out, or maybe have serious liver damage, because yeah, this Miami backline was just an absolute mess. And I think Stu Holden mentioned 4 or 5 times during this game that this Miami backline was just pretty much so disorganized. But in the 30th minute, Robinson dismissed wide, despite the fact that he was open in the back post. But 1 minute later, the Red Bulls would double their lead, and it's Omar Fernandez scoring from Edwards to make it 2-0 in favor of the Red Bulls. And not only the fact that it was shocking defending from Inter Miami, but that was just saying it lightly, because not only the fact that this one was coming from a throw-in, but the fact that that ball bounced 3 times in the box and no Miami player basically heads down one way. Like, that is probably the worst defending I've seen so far for this season. Like, how in the world do you not have anybody clear that one away? And I was even livid about after seeing that. Now, I'm not a Miami fan, but I mean, that was just some defending that I've seen high school defending that does better in terms of that than whatever that Inter Miami team just decided to do, which is just kind of completely switched off, and no one decided to take the initiative to just clear a ball that was literally bouncing 3 times in the box. Now, in the 36th minute, things gets even worse for Inter Miami, because Figal would get his second yellow card of the game. They mentioned how the Inter Miami backline coming into this game, they had to be treading the thin wire a little bit, because if both of their center back gets a yellow card in this game, then they would be suspended heading into that game against Nashville SC. And obviously, I think LGP got a yellow card early in the game, and the same goes with Figal. So in some way, Figal was probably going to miss the game against Nashville, but this definitely does not help. The fact that he gets his second yellow card, and the fact that Miami was down to 10 men and was just basically second best for up to that point of the game. And that's also kind of when I realized that, yeah, this could potentially get ugly for Inter Miami, because in the 38th minute, Kamala did hit it straight to Marsman as he looked to try to score his second goal of the game. The shots were 14-1 in favor of the Red Bulls up until that point. But Miami finally gets their first shot on goal as Morgan tried to hit one that was denied by Cornell, and little did we know that was the only shot on goal that they would get in this entire game, as we head to halftime with the Red Bulls leading 2-0 against Inter Miami. And you're thinking, Phil Neville's got to change something in the second half, and in some way he did try to change something in the second half, but it just doesn't seem like it worked whatsoever, because heading into the second half, the Red Bulls continued to dominate, and basically it was kind of the same thing we saw in the second half than it is in the first half, where there was just basically no contest whatsoever, and it was just so one-sided in favor of the visitor. Token puts it wide from close range in the 48th minute before Fabio trying to already maybe score a goal of the week contention, as he tried to do a scissor kick attempt that just goes wide. I mean, I always love when players try to do the acrobatics and trying to score from a scissor kick attempt, but unfortunately Fabio wasn't able to connect that one correct and puts it wide before Fernandez just missed wide from close range as he lashed that one toward close range, and it just whistled past the left side of the post. But you can definitely see the Red Bulls were hungry for a third goal, and at the hour mark, they didn't put the graphics, that is FS1, in terms of how many shots were at that point, but I did kind of take a look to see what's the shot total, and yeah, it was basically 24-2 in favor of the Red Bulls. Like, that just shows you how dominant that they were in this game, where Miami just never really had any chance whatsoever going forward. And in the 64th minute, if the game wasn't done, it was pretty much done now, after Fabio was able to score from Token to make it 3-0 in favor of the Red Bulls. Fabio would score another goal in the 88th minute from Duncan to make it 4-0 in favor of the Red Bulls. And yeah, that is the final score of this game, as the shots in this one, 27 compared to just 2 that Inter Miami has. That has to be one, if not probably the most lopsided shots total I've seen. See, not only this season, but probably ever since I start doing review. Like, I don't remember the last time where a team has got outshot that badly in a game. Like, I think maybe the only one I remember was the game between the Quakes and the Whitecaps. But remember how the Quakes had like 43 shots in the entire game, which to this day is still the record for the most shot a team has had in the entire game. But at least I think on that night, Vancouver at least had more than the 2 shots that they have. But yeah, I mean, this was just absolutely ridiculous seeing that stat lines with the Red Bulls out shooting Miami by 25 shots in total. 9 shots on goal compared to 1 that Miami has. 12 shots off target compared to 1 that Miami has. No shots that was blocked for the 6 that the Red Bulls had. And possession-wise, 53% possession compared to 47% possession that Inter Miami has in this game. And, you know, for the Red Bulls, this is a huge win for them, knowing that they have kind of stopped the bleeding a little bit in terms of this bad run that they had. I mean, they still have a lot of work to do if they want to get themselves back in contention for the Eastern Conference playoff, but if they can use this as a kickstart, then maybe they can definitely get themselves back in the conversation. But for Inter Miami, you know, let's just hope that this is maybe just one of those games where it seems like the team wasn't prepared whatsoever. I mean, I get that, you know, this is the 3rd game in 7 days for them, and, you know, they also been on the road for a lot this week, and this team seems like it might have been tired out because of that. But at the same time, you know, that I don't think that should be an excuse, knowing the fact that a lot of teams around MLS are basically dealing with that. And, you know, again, hopefully if you're Inter Miami and you're a fan of this team, you're hoping that this is just one of those games where they just look absolutely horrible. Because I know a lot of Miami fans might actually panic after seeing this game, but remember, it's only one game, and if they can bounce back from this disastrous result that they had against the Red Bulls, then everything would be fine. Now, if this is a start of the worst for this team, and they're gonna start looking like that team from the beginning of the season, then yeah, there would be some concern if you're an Inter Miami fan. But like I said, they just need to move on from this resort, although it's not going to be easy to say that when you realize that the next game that they're playing is against Nashville SC, and they're going to be really shorthanded, especially with the back line missing 2 of their starting center back in the next game against a really stingy Nashville team. But yeah, either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do like, smash that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of this game. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.